What it do, everybody? We back up in this thing. It's your boy Sage and Croco's Corner up in the building, coming at you for another chapter review of the most recent Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. We got chapter 22 in the building today. And I'm going to say Ikimoto and Kishimoto, they did their big ones with this one. They did they super big ones with this one.
Yeah, last two for sure.
Just off the rip, we're going to show y'all one of these panels for right now. Probably show some more later, but not go OD crazy, obviously. We don't want to get copyrighted or anything like that. So this is not our content. There's none of that thing. We just showing y'all the artistic aspect of it. This first panel, and I wish, hold on, I think I could share my screen with you too. There we go. This panel is absolutely bonkers. I like the colors.
Drip.
Yeah, I like the. I don't know why they put it in like a. It's almost like he's in a different plane type of thing.
Yeah, it's probably just to give it that pop.
They going crazy.
Unless it could mean, you're right though, it could mean something.
I don't know. Who knows? All right. I'm sorry. I'm a little high, y'all. Nonetheless, we start off the chapter how we left off from chapter 21. They show off basically, and I'm going to try and get more intertwined with the story, so I'll try and read it in a better fashion for everybody out there. Make it seem a little bit more intense at least. Yodo, Araya. Damn, which one is which? Araya was the shawty. Yodo is the dude. Araya, spoiler alert, if you're not caught up with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, I don't know why you clicked on this video in the first place. Nonetheless, Araya is dead. Sarada is passed out after using her Mangekyo Sharingan after awakening it yet again. Ended up destroying Ryu, and Matsuri was in the process of almost killing Konohamaru because he couldn't finish the job. Boruto came and saved his life, and now we are picking up on the fray from there. So we see that Ryu's thorn bulb is out in the open. It has manifested now. It's just floating, and there's a couple claw grime from the ones that Ryu pulled out before and used in their battle previously. Mitsuki, Araya, I'll deal with the claw grimes. You hurry and take the thorn bulb to Shinki. Yodo, Mitsuki, claw grime. Crazy ass noises. And then we all knew that this was going to come, but Jura pops out of the claw grime. Mitsuki is astonished. This nigga, I'm not gonna lie, if Boruto is dripped out, Jura probably is just as dripped out. I don't even know why. It's the most basic as shit, but it looked like this nigga got hooves, bruh. Like, I'll never get accustomed to that.
Yeah.
Hooves with thumbs. But for whatever reason, people who's bringing
I mean, it's a beast.
Yeah.
I wish they just had a straight up made them humans.
I'm not gonna lie, how his facial structure really reminds me of Jigen.
And that's the other part. Like, I wish that they could have did something a little bit more unique. But you know what? My wonder is this.
But
because
I think
when they
it's a reason
started
why.
making, and that's exactly what I was about to say, is it when they started to make the tailed beast, like when that whole thing was beginning, it's the same one that was with Jigen, right? Cole just took it over, right?
Yeah.
So it's possible that how they kind of reincarnate as people, it could have been that they had it like that. Jura had enough, whatever, to be able to reincarnate as Jigen. Even though Jigen isn't in the spaces of the spaces now, it could have been enough, or it could be like because Cole's DNA comes from Jigen as well, right?
Cole's DNA comes from Shibai, technically. A little bit of his own, or a lot of bit of his own, and a little bit of Shibai's DNA, as much as his human body could take, at least. I think it's because we've seen Jigen use the Ten Tails power and extract it on a multitude of occasions. Like, we seen him. It was a reason why they showed him back in Boruto, the first part, of him siphoning power away from that Ten Tails. This isn't his first rodeo type of thing. And if that's been the case, then their chakras have technically been intermingling, giving the Ten Tails more than enough data in order to pull from.
Meaning he's not even like a reincarnation.
He's his own type of being.
Yeah.
The Ten Tails. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. And how much is that going? And that really do make you think how much of that is going to be a problem, kind of going down the line, because it's like, if the formula is simpler than it is for the other tail beasts, does that help you in terms of your development with power and processing of power? It makes me wonder, because think, like, what if the host is kind of like a handicap towards the actual potential power that the beasts actually have? Not saying that they aren't strong, they are very strong, but not having that handicap, what boost does that give you? Yeah, because we know that. All right, so let's bring this back up at the end, because when we talk about the end, that's when I think that's going to be appropriate to kind of think that further. Because I want to go into it now, but I don't want to skip around too much. I already did that in the other video that I made. I skipped around a lot, so I'm like, nah, I gotta do better with that. I don't love. Is he the only one that's like that though? Who? Is it only Jura that has like the hoof feet, or is all of them?
No, all of them are like that. It's just his specific features reminds me specifically of like Jigen, for probably a specific reason. Jigen, or a mixture of Jigen and Ishiki, since that was what was the tool, if I'm not mistaken. If Ishiki was still taking over Jigen's body, I'm pretty sure their chakras were intermingling as well.
All twisted and winded together. I don't like them feet though. That feet, it be looking like that. Look
feet
like
is crazy, feet. But the nigga,
they like pig feet.
Nigga got thumbs for heels.
How you walking like
thumbs
that?
On the side? I don't even know.
You're not telling me he running better than a human.
Regardless of the feet, he still look cold. And the middle fingers, but the middle fingers is a reason, and that shit is so funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even realize it was the middle fingers. Is it? That's the Cole aspect of it, right? Yeah. Because Cole got the claws. But and that's wild.
And Cole was intermingling his chakra with the damn tent. See, okay. And if we're thinking back to Jigen or Ishiki, technically, once he fully spawned from this nigga Jigen's body, it was only one nigga that could keep up with this nigga, and it was Naruto. After risking his whole entire Biju in the process, his homie.
And that's what I think people gotta like. It's really tricky trying to evaluate power levels in Boruto. Not that it's not made clear, but it's one of those things where it's like, even though we are clearly defining it, if you don't pay attention, you could very well miss it. And if everything that we saying about Jura is true, all of those kind of molding and melding of chakras and such has an influence on Jura, then that should be able to show you exactly how powerful this threat really is. Like this, at this current moment, this is a threat that's bigger than anything that even Naruto and Sasuke really had an opportunity to face. This is a Baryon mode Naruto. This is something that even possibly Baryon mode, or however it's pronounced, Naruto would have a hard time with. That's crazy. That's like beyond everything that we've seen at this point.
He taking it up. They got to take it up a whole nother level. And they're doing a great way of doing it. They didn't just force no shit. They're actually using like the science behind it all. and it's beautiful to fucking see. I don't know if you have qualms with this series in comparison to Naruto, but if you ain't been tapping into TBV, it lays a whole lot of that shit to bed.
They emphasize the lore more. I do like that. There is more, like, not to say that Naruto didn't. Naruto did, but it would just kind of like go in and out. It would feel like give you an example. When we was in Naruto before Shippuden, like you had the lore, like the 10-tailed beast and whatnot. We got to see Naruto, we got to see Gaara, right? But then after that, the lore surrounding that really didn't pick up for a good while. Like we was deep into Shippuden before that. I feel like they started fleshing that out a little bit more. And when I say like, because we didn't start getting into it again until what? Was it the rescue for Gaara that we started talking about it again? Or it might have been even later than that. It might have been when they was trying to rescue Sasuke and they had to face that Silk dude. Yeah, I think that was the next time. So it's like, dang, bro, like to go all the way from Naruto Gaara to the mysterious introduction there to almost like 100 maybe chapters between the lore being mentioned again. And I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like how it went. That's wild. As with this, everything that they've been, all of the power sets, like the thing that would kind of represent the what were they called? Kyuubi in Naruto? The tail beast.
Jubi?
Just like the Jubi. Yeah, the Jubi and Naruto, everything that like the Otsutsuki and everything that's kind of around that is the focus of that here, and they never stop talking about it. Everybody is affected by it. That's a main character pretty much in some way, shape, or form, and they never get away from it. I'm looking at Mitsuki. Mitsuki cold.
Yeah,
Mitsuki gotta be strong. Like I need them to make him strong.
Even Yodo, I'm not gonna lie, the mask over his eyes,
it's fire.
The nigga look like an ego. Even more ego. What's the dude that can control the bugs? I can't remember his name right now.
Oh yeah, I can't think of his name either. But yeah, he do. I get the vibe. I definitely get that vibe. The worst one is Konohamaru.
Kikachu?
They did everything about Konohamaru dirty. Even though I'm not gonna lie, that twin tail beast that he like the giant Rasengans that he did, the twin giant Rasengans, that was cold. That was the coldest thing he did so far though.
He found out he fell in love in the middle of the battle. So that nigga folded. It's yeah, I guess you gotta
it's so low.
I guess you gotta give him a pass. I mean, Boruto did come and big him up. He said it wouldn't have been that easy if it wasn't for you. So Konohamaru obviously did a lot of damage, but why he didn't just finish the job from the get-go? Nonetheless, Yodo.
He don't got it. He don't got it.
Yodo and Mitsuki quickly realize that this is Jura standing above them, just looking at him. Jura quickly glances at Sarada as she's passed out. Doesn't say a word, which is, I don't know. I think it might be foreshadowing some shit. Let's figure that out later on. He ends up flies upward, and he's scanning the field. He doesn't even care about Ryu's thorn bulb. And Yodo points that out. He's too focused on Boruto right now and where he's at. As we cut over to Boruto and Konohamaru. Oh, my bad. I kind of spoiled it a little bit, y'all. Konohamaru talks about, hey, you cut that down easily. Boruto's like, hey, you beat it up already pretty badly, so it wouldn't have been easy if it wasn't for you. And then they sit there as the thorn bulb is forming. In the process, Jura actually shoots a Bijou bomb. Keep in mind the same type of shot that almost took his ass out earlier in this series. And somehow, some way, Boruto is able to dodge it this time. Konohamaru,
did he dodge it, or did it just miss?
I don't think this nigga Jura misses.
That's what I was like, bro. If he hit it the first time, what's the like? How would he miss it the second time?
But at the same time, why did Jura also look at Sarada? We could bring it up now.
Yeah.
In that moment, was it because he was fascinated with her power, or was it because he was pissed off that she just killed one of his comrades, and he didn't want to give into those natures? And could that possibly be the reason why Jura would miss? Because I don't think he looked like the type to miss. I mean, he did kind of miss earlier from the killing shot, but only by a little bit. This nigga missed him completely this time.
Yeah. In terms of the Sarada side, I think everything you said is kind of true. I think he was kind of looking at her to make sure, okay, is she down and out? Because I think she is a credible threat. I think whatever this Mangekyo Sharingan is that she unlocked is something different.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think even he knows it. Like, just being able to see everything on the field, he knew there's not enough time for me to figure out how to counter that. Whereas with Boruto, a lot of Boruto's powers are powers that he can kind of, he's either experienced before, or you could say he could kind of evaluate it, or he can take on not necessarily the actual full power of Boruto, but he could be at bay with it a little bit better at this point. Just maybe the only reason why that is because he's had more opportunities to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with Sarada, that wasn't the case. Like, nothing from the battle between her and Ryu was he able to calculate or learn how exactly does he counter her Mangekyo Sharingan. So I think when he was looking at her, it was more like,
I gotta watch out. I gotta keep an eye.
Yeah, let me keep an eye on her. Mm-hmm. Right. And then in terms of him missing the shot, I don't know.
Or it could be three options. Jura, his aura got hit a little bit, so now this nigga is he's just not in the best of shape because he's trying to keep his emotions down, as he understands the concept of emotions, but thinks that it's a primitive feature. Which I think if he doesn't double down and actually tap into his emotions, I think he'll actually become even stronger, which would be a nightmare.
Okay.
Which would be a nightmare for niggas. Because that's all he's lacking in regards to, like, his humanoid sense. Because it's chakra from Jigen, who is the human, and Ishiki, who is the Otsutsuki. And now you mingle it in with Ten Tails chakra as well, and you get a whole different monster. It could be that. It could be Boruto. Somebody is saving Boruto and helping him in the process.
Okay. Unseen force doing something. They just haven't revealed it yet, type of thing.
Or, damn, what was that last one?
The last one was an unforeseen force, kind of. Yeah. Helping out there. Which, I mean, if so, who could it be? Would it be Ada?
Would it be Momoshiki?
Would it be possibly?
Momoshiki don't want to die. If that nigga Boruto die, he die.
But, like, how would Boruto not notice it?
I think it's because he's been in his body for so long.
It's one of those things where he can manipulate and just...
It's something that's already...
Which we've kind of seen that.
Yeah. It's something that's already supposed to have taken place. It's just only a matter of time now. Just like how using his karma, he started to feel all it takes is just that little bit. That little bit, that weakness when he got shot and was knocked out and everything like that. That little bit of weakness gave probably Momoshiki a little bit of extra control. I don't know. Or it could be Shibai from another realm helping him out. Who knows?
Oh, no, I've seen a lot of people that's kind of been theorizing that Shibai is gonna kind of work in the favor of Boruto during this entire process. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't seen anything to tell me that is the case. But
what I'm thinking about is Shiba didn't seem like a righteous
good guy.
nigga. Yeah.
Yeah.
At
all.
At
But
all.
I don't know. Maybe that's the kind of plot twist that they trying to plan, is because it's somebody who doesn't seem righteous. Maybe in all of the knowledge that he's gathered, and in just life force understanding that he's gathered, he's been like, I'm a changed man.
What?
Maybe.
What if he found a way to be able to cultivate fruits without actually killing people?
That's wild. We have an army?
It would just take longer in order for it to take place. Like it siphons chakra little by little over time instead of draining it completely.
Everything at once, yeah. I don't know. I have no clue.
Interesting.
I do think it's strange, though. I hope that they do show us something as to why Jura missed that shot. Because you want to know what's even crazy? It really could just be as simple as just the distance. The distance is further this time than it was. It could be that simple. But he's super powered, so you just would imagine distance wouldn't play a part. But maybe it is just that simple. Okay.
This nigga's scary.
So then after that, where are we at?
We're at Konohamaru looking at the Bijou bomb. He's curious. What is that? Boruto responds, a miniature Bijou bomb sniper shot. It's Jura. He's here. Jura says it missed, a pity. And he just flies over there. Yodo inquires where is he going. Like the nigga don't got smoke with the nigga Boruto. Mitsuki is worried about Konohamaru. He brings him up by name. This is all happening while Matsuri's thorn bulb is forming and has fully formed. It's now in Konohamaru's possession. Konohamaru inquires if this will restore Moegi from her arboreal state, right?
Yeah.
Boruto starts throwing some shuriken around on some various rock pillars that's standing besides them. Konohamaru is confused. Boruto, in a dripped out pose, Master, there's no time. Please listen. Get out of here with that bulb right now. Take Sarada and the others and head to where you first met up with the Sand Shinobi. Konohamaru confused. What? Boruto, wait. Oh, wait. Wait there for further instruction. Go. Konohamaru. Boruto has to scream it to him. You heard me. Move.
Konohamaru just don't.
It is the omnipotence too, though, man.
Bro, but hear me out. Konohamaru was in the last Great Ninja War.
I understand what you're about to say,
bro.
I understand.
You like.
He said, "How you let the kids take out one of these?"
The kids is not even just that. Like the kids is the ones that's like, they look like the ones that's got the experience in a war. And Konohamaru is the one with the experience in a war.
Nigga,
and he just
was against all odds. Nothing. He was against a powered up Madara, and then it turned out to be an alien.
Like, bruh.
And y'all ain't even fighting the alien. Y'all couldn't even fight the alien.
Y'all fighting the beast.
Yeah.
That, like, y'all fought in the war to some extent. Like, y'all already fought something like this. Bro, come on. And then he's sitting there. What? What? Huh? Huh? What do I do? What?
Like this
Boruto.
This nigga just like, shot the sniper shot. We was taught to
you
get
just saw this super sniper shot. You can't even see the man. And y'all in a desert. Okay, y'all in a desert. There's no building that he could be hiding behind. This man is millions of miles away. Just snipered the ground. You didn't even see it. And, Boruto trying to tell you, bro, this dude is different. We got to go.
The next panel don't help this nigga either. Boruto screams at him. You heard me. Move. Jura is closing in. This is the moment that Konohamaru actually notices by the artwork, in which he's startled to see Jura hot on their ass. Jura powers up a Bijou bomb. This ain't no regular sniper shot either. Boruto grabs Konohamaru, tries to fly away. And this artwork, we're going to show this. This is one of the panels that we was going to show. Just to show the destructive power, I can't wait till they animate this.
Animated it, I know.
Just to show the destructive power, this joint is crazy. Okay? Get that off of there.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, damn, it fucked me up.
And Konohamaru just willy-nilly with this. Man's dropping nukes.
Nigga almost died. Nah, but I...
And he just... What? Boruto, you've... What? That's what he doing? In the middle of a desert where a dude is throwing snipers at you and you can't even see him? Then when you finally do see him, he drops a nuke? Yeah, that's like the destructive power that is. Yeah, that's different. And then the other part is, I thought when I first saw this that the objects right there were stones. I still believe that they're like rocks because of the lines going through them.
I think they are.
Based off that smoke cloud that's kind of underneath it, I feel like that entire area, like even those rocks, when it gets animated, it'll be something where at like that mushroom cloud that's kind of forming right there. It's not yet a mushroom cloud, but just that explosion cloud that's kind of forming right there. It'll probably be massive. That's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just the way that the smoke kind of continues. Usually that's what happens when it's larger because how the smoke just continues. It's not something that stops for a good minute.
And they had to have flown away a great distance at least to get out of the blast zone.
Impact zone, yeah.
And even that distance that they flew, you can still see the smoke rising up to where they're at.
So, right, following right next to them.
So now we see that Boruto and Konohamaru safely evaded the attack. Boruto does a flip and then throws Konohamaru with all his might. Konohamaru looks back at Boruto. Konohamaru understands exactly what he needs to do. He gathers himself and lands. He looks.
Why he eat that man like that though?
He had to because the nigga was not paying attention.
Yeeted.
Like now you see the reason why I'm telling you to do what you need to do. Go and save your shawty. And get off the goddamn battlefield, cause I can't save you and fight this nigga at the same time.
At the same time.
All right, Konohamaru understands the assignment and gets to running away. Jiren doesn't even care. Konohamaru runs past him. Oh wait, I said Jiren. Jura doesn't even care. Konohamaru. Oh, he actually looked at him, but Boruto actually pulls up with the flying Raijin, and a Rasengan hits him just like his grandpappy used to do him back in the day. Rasengan. Jura just looks unfazed. So much so, he turns 180 as he's still feeling the pressure of the Rasengan and fires a Bijudama right back at Boruto. Boruto then uses Flying Raijin again to evade the attack. Boruto then pulls out his blade as Jura is still falling from the Rasengan that Boruto hit him with, and Jura blocks it with his middle finger, which is hilarious. One finger at that.
One finger.
Jura,
now, granted, it's got the little cold thing on it, but still, just the level of strength.
One finger is crazy. One finger is crazy.
Yeah. And, like, no care. Throughout this entire sequence, it's just been no facial change.
And we seen Boruto strong as shit, but like, how they gonna take care of this nigga? It gotta be Kawaki.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more when we get to this end.
Yeah. Jura starts to big up Boruto on the Flying Raijin, calling it an impressive translocation. It's a bad habit, but fighting a strong opponent like you makes my heart dance with joy. As we're starting to see more of human emotions being seen within Jura. And he understands that it's a bad habit. He always said that love is a bad habit from humans as well. What happens if something that Jura truly loves is taken away from him? What type of Jura do we get then? Boruto sits there and stares. Ada seems to think that Boruto has an actual chance and he's holding his own with Jura. But then she realizes he really has no chance against Jura. Kashin Koji reaffirms her. That's right. There's no way he can win. Not with the current sequence of events, and Boruto himself has got to be well aware of the fact. Ada, then he's in a pinch. He needs to teleport away. Kashin Koji, but he can't, even if he wants to. Ada, astonished. Kashin Koji then breaks down that long distance flying Raijin is tricky. Boruto's teleportation depends on him sensing chakra marked objects, which are those pins that he has variously placed variously on his, is that a word?
Yeah.
Variously on his jacket, and they're harder to detect the farther they're away. Even more so while facing a superior opponent who's out to get him. Ada.
Just ...
Kashin Koji, and that's not all. If Boruto fled right now, he'd put the others in danger. Plus, Jura would retrieve Matsuri's and Ryu's thorn bulbs. So Boruto is thinking that he needs to keep Jura engaged until Konohamaru, Sarada, and the others can get somewhere safe. Ada, you mean Kashin Koji. Boruto's done for, without a doubt. Boruto looks still dripped out.
Mm-hmm.
And Boruto knows this because Kashin Koji I'm guessing, has instilled this shit into him for probably the last year or so of his life. Nonetheless, Jura says, I believe you know this already, Otsutsuki Boruto, but I have come here to kill you. Because starting with the thorn bulbs, for whatever reason, you seem to know way too much about us divine trees. Boruto looks back, says nothing. Jura, how you happen to be so knowledgeable about us? Given our recent emergence, is a huge question to me. Is your intel source the accomplice who is aiding you? Boruto looks and says nothing. Jura, you don't intend to answer? Very well. Boruto, ...
Yeah, now
he's thinking
about...
he's got to have taken some damage from the Rasengan. Jura just looks there as if he's unfazed. Boruto, but I can't read him at all. I guess to take him down, I'll need to use Uzuhiko. Ominous sounding notes, or Japanese kanji, I guess. Jura, well then, Otsutsuki Boruto, this next question is out of pure curiosity. Boruto looks. Jura, what is love?
Just random.
Mid-fight.
Just randomly.
Nigga just sent the nuke. Nigga just sent the nuke. His partners, they're trying to pack up his homies for the past.
He low-key crazy. He low-key crazy. Like, he low-key crazy, like Joker crazy. He just classy about it, but he's crazy. Just out of random. Well then, Otsutsuki Boruto, this next question is out of pure curiosity. What is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. He just like, that's crazy, bro. That's insane.
Mid-fight. Like, nigga, why is you asking? You just tried to kill me 2 times. You shot a shot at me, and then shot another shot at me. Me and my homie.
And Boruto's Batman stoic kind of expressions and face, he has done a very good job holding up.
Yeah.
If this was Naruto, he would not have been holding up the same way at all. Naruto would have been he would have. Kishimoto made sure he showed Naruto showing his emotions on his sleeve, because he would have been like, "Excuse me."
He trying aura farm the whole time. He like, nah. As long as I got this aura, I'm unbeatable. No sir.
No sir.
No sir. We learned with Sasuke. It's only so much aura that can save you from that ass whooping that's about to come. Boruto looks back stoically. Jura, my current opinion is that it is a concept that can be a fatal weakness for you humans, a flaw. That is a side effect of being highly intelligent. Take, for example, I suspect you know how minuscule your chance of winning against me is, and yet you still came here to save your friends. In other words, love has lured you here to your place of death. As Boruto is standing there, you see like 5 different wood style jutsus coming up from out of the ground to go and to intercept Boruto. Boruto jumps up in the air and he actually takes some wood out of or is he using rock?
It looked like it's both here. But
Earth
it's definitely still wood.
Earth style. I'll call it that. Earth
Yeah,
style. He used
yeah.
the Earth style jutsus to still intercept Boruto on one of the pillars that I believe Boruto's shurikens was on. Boruto cuts it and gets away, or he has to jump away because more are coming out. Jiraiya's just sitting there menacingly. Boruto, damn it. Without planting my feet on solid ground, I can't use Uzuhiko. In that case, Boruto gets a bright idea. Boruto gets hit by one of the Earth style jutsus and drops his sword in the process. Ugh, Boruto says. Boruto's sword lands in the sand as Boruto lands in the sand as well. And then it gets hemmed up by a couple Earth style jutsus as he's coughing up blood. Jiraiya just sits there menacingly. Now Jiraiya is walking up to him, or walking up to the sword per se. Jiraiya looks at it. Boruto, ... That's a precious sword, or a precious object I borrowed from my master. If you do anything to it, you'll face a fate worse than death. Jiraiya looks at it, picks it up. I see. So yet again, you shall come to suffer thanks to love. Boruto looks. Jiraiya, how about this? Quiv. And it looks like somebody was saying this, or I seen a comment. Let me read the panel first. How about this? This is Jiraiya. How about this? Simply tell me where your accomplices is, and this blade can retain its original form. What did he mean by that?
Yeah. Isn't it not already in its original form, or does he just means that he won't break it? Tell me, answer my question, and I won't break it. It can stay as it is. Is he simply saying it like that, or is he saying like,
oh, retain? Okay. So because when I look at retain, I'm thinking something different. But that definition means to keep, maintain, or hold something in possession. So I thought somebody said he could put a claw mark on there, so that when he goes back to Kashin Koji, then he could just teleport there,
and he'll know.
And this is how he gets away from Jiraiya. That's what some people were speculating. Or I seen a comment, I believe, from a Comics Explained video. Shout out to Comics Explained. Is it? No, my bad. Not Comics Explained. Good Lord. Naruto Explained. I was like,
hold on. He do anime now?
Naruto Explained. Okay, Jiraiya. Although, either way, I will still be killing you afterwards. Boruto looks. ... You might be right about love being a flaw and a weakness of us humans. Jiraiya looks. Boruto. But, and this is my opinion, you see the swirls from Boruto's Uzuhiko start to flare up on the Earth style that's keeping him pinned right now. Jiraiya looks. Then Boruto escapes his Earth style chains with the Uzuhiko powered up in the palm of his hands. Fire. We're showing this.
Yeah, that's hard.
We're showing this. Where's it? Went too far. This shit tweaking. Okay. Yep. We're not gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna take that part out. Yeah, I had to scroll through all the joints. It had me go to a whole different one.
Okay.
Alright, we back on it. I'm gonna do to signal myself. Alright. We back on this. Boruto breaks through his chains with the Uzuhiko, his wood earth style chains that Jiraiya has placed on him. Jiraiya looks with no facial expression. Boruto says, that's precisely why you will never be more than just trees. As Boruto places his hand to do the flying Raijin, Boruto then uses his sword as the flying Raijin spot and teleports right behind Jiraiya and hits him with the Uzuhiko point blank. Rasengan, Uzuhiko. We see Jiraiya begin to spin away. In the same type of essence of the level of Uzuhiko he hit Code with.
Mm-hmm.
So not the strongest version of it, but a version where it should do considerable amount of damage. Jura then tucks and rolls and ends up landing. Boruto picks up his sword, and Jura begins to see the same spirals that Code started to see when he was hit with Uzuhiko. And Jura is still on his knee. Boruto, the world seems to be spinning, right? Your sense of equilibrium is mucked. You won't be able to fly anymore. I bet even standing straight will be difficult. Jura looks on. This power. As he places his hand on his chest. And it seems like he has dispelled the Uzuhiko. Boruto, shocked. Jura, I see. It seems to follow principles similar to Biju bombs. Hence, I was able to nullify it. Boruto, damn it. Uzuhiko doesn't work on him?
And that's the end.
To be continued.
To be continued. What does he have? What does he have? That's the thing. That's kind of where I'm stuck as the. I mean, we know that Boruto isn't gonna RIP right here. So the only thing left is his curse mark, like his Atsushi curse mark. I'll just call it that. Yeah, karma. There it is. He has his karma.
Do we need Momoshiki right now? But if
that's exactly what I was just about to say. I was going to say, going back to what you said before, like when we were talking about the sniper hit and maybe Momoshiki played a part in that. If Momoshiki is playing a part subconsciously in sniper shots, what happens if you have to bring the whole totality of him out through this karma mark to fight Jura? So there's that.
I really want to see that though. I'm not gonna lie.
It might happen.
Want to see that fight.
It might happen. The other side to that is Kawaki, like you said as well. Kawaki could make it to the battlefield. They explain to him everything that happened. Kawaki, as much as he hates Boruto at this current point, doesn't hate him, but he doesn't want him to be in the picture because of the threat that he poses. As much as that's still true and relevant for Kawaki, he could probably put his differences aside, as we've seen before, right? Mm-hmm. To face Jura. So you could have both Boruto and Kawaki double, like teaming up against Jura, which could be the 1-2 punch. Especially, hear me out too. Kind of give me vibes of like when we got introduced in Dragon Ball Z to Black Frieza. Mm-hmm. And the arc that led up to that, right? We saw Vegeta and Goku go through numerous power-ups, increase their levels even further, surpass their limits even further, to the point where like Goku was conjuring stuff. I mean, it was that whole thing, they were surpassing their limits. And then at the very end, Black Frieza shows up and it's just like, yeah, I'm past all of that.
Yeah.
I'm past all of that. What if we were to get Kawaki in a similar moment here? Where this whole arc, we've seen Boruto just constantly impress us and constantly look like the strongest character in the series at this point. But we do know that those limiters are removed off of Kawaki. So what if Kawaki comes in here and just clean it up Black Frieza style?
Boruto he got a lot more shit to worry about than Jura. He got a lot more shit to worry about than Jura, than Konohamaru's ass.
He gonna have to get out.
He have to use Momoshiki. Momo, I need you. I can't do none of that. Like, you've been seeing what I've been doing with these jutsus. Take it up a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Take it up a whole nother level.
It's the only way. It's the only way. And that's the thing. The part that makes me wonder if that's the case is that Kawaki doesn't seem to have the same limitations that Boruto has in regards to
the karma.
The whole Momoshiki, right? Mm-hmm. So Boruto gonna have to get out. He gonna have to just get out of the way. He gonna have to just literally get out, which is gonna probably be hard for him. But he's gonna have to just get out of the way. And the other part that we gotta remember is, this is like this power that Kashin Koji has is the same type of power that Ada has. it's like godly omniscience, like omnipotence, omniscience, all of that. Like that's what it is. It's like godly levels. That's what it's supposed to be. That's why the whole world is wrapped up in this illusion that Ada has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Kashin Koji's visions are like easily dispelled. Like, it takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that maybe his vision didn't completely get who would be the one to kill him? All that he could see is that in the fight between Boruto and Jura, Boruto dies. But could it possibly be a vital strike by Kawaki? Because he can't get away. But the thing is, and this is why I think in this chapter, I'm gonna go back to it really quickly. I want to go back to it really, really quickly. I don't feel when when Kashin Koji was talking to Ida, and he said Boruto's teleportation depends on him sensing chakra marked objects, and they're harder to detect the farther away they are. Even more so while facing a superior opponent who's out to get him. I feel like they telling us that about Jura, but they could possibly be telling us, kind of letting us know this is the same thing with Kawaki.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, this is the same thing with Kawaki. This could be them trying to explain that part now. And then when he also continues on, he says, and that's not all. If Boruto fled right now, he put the others in danger. Well, here's the thing. That is true for Jura, but that second part isn't true if it's Kawaki.
Mm-hmm.
So would Boruto be smart enough to just get out of there? That's the only thing that he could do.
I don't think he would leave his brother, because I think even with his limiters removed, I don't think he might do a better chance against Jura, but he won't still be the
still
one.
Going to be enough to be alone.
Wouldn't be enough. Yeah.
It's definitely reasonable that it would take both of them, but and then that goes back to the points that you were kind of hitting on before. What happens if Jura is introduced to those emotions and it unlocks even more power for him? Mm-hmm. What are the upper limits of Jura's powers at this point? Like all of these things we just kind of don't know. Mm-hmm. But if it is on that top tier, like we think it is, then I do surmise, like, again, if this is bypassing any threat that Naruto and Sasuke has ever fought, then I would think that even at this point, with the amount of powers that both Boruto and Kawaki have, they still possibly would have to team up. It could just be inexperience at this point. Mm-hmm. That would be the reason why they have to team up.
We did forget one thing, too, and it's the Jogan. He could possibly awaken his Aijutsu, and we don't necessarily know. We do know when Otsutsuki eats enough chakra fruits, eventually they're able to manifest the Jogan, or at least that's what it seems. The Pure Eye from Otsutsuki lore, and we've already seen Boruto have it in the anime. Technically, it hasn't been verified in the manga, but we all assume that it will be, because I'm pretty sure he activated it in the first chapter of Boruto.
I know in the anime, I think he activated it around that new fight. I don't know whether that was transfer over, like whether that same transaction happened. That new fight in the anime, class president, when she went off the wires
with the Nue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed it then.
They showed it then. But see, that's the thing. I don't know if that part of the anime is in the manga.
It's not. But they did show him awakening it in the manga. So it is technically, but it looks like it's a Byakugan from how it's artistically drawn. But I think it might still be the Jogan.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the question is, what would the Jogan grant him? How could it help him in this battle?
It would be all the Aijutsus. Basically, that's what it seems like. It's every single Aijutsu put into one.
See, and that's my thing. I was just about to say, but I said when I saw everything that we seen with this flying Raijin that he's gotten from his grandfather, and how he has the limiters of where the objects are placed.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I thought when I was just reading it in this chapter, and I think I even had this thought before, like when I first saw it, is could you imagine if he had Kamui with Kakashi and Toby?
Mm-hmm.
If he had Obito, if he had that, like the Kamui Sharingan with that flying Rasen, he would be like, you would not be able to stop. Like, how would you even be able to catch him?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if he is limited by the objects, he could teleport the objects with his eyes.
He could teleport himself damn near.
Yeah, and teleport himself. So it's like whenever you aren't using the flying Rasen, you could just teleport yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's too slow, try to mix the two between each other. He would be like, that would be, even if he isn't the strongest, that would be enough to make him so hard to deal with. Even I feel like even a character like Jura would have a hard time. Like if he were to just spam, if he could just spam the Yurihime or Yuzahime, whatever it's called. If he just spammed that Rasengan, or if he could even do a giant Rasengan similar to what Konohamaru knows and his father knows, all he need to do is be able to keep his distance. That's the only thing he would need. So I'm kind of hoping that it could be that Jogan, that thing can give him some type of leverage. Because I don't think the Byakugan is going to provide much support in this case.
Can't.
Because what... Okay, yeah, you know where all of his chakra points are, but you got to be able to, like, reach somebody to make that have any type of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't even know what the chakra points are in it's not a human. So we don't even know what the chakra points even look like in divine tree, humanoid divine tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, the Byakugan would be out. It doesn't matter if that's what it grants the powers of. Not again, the question would have to come with, can it grant him the powers of the Rinnegan, or can it grant him the powers of the Sharingan?
So they haven't shown it doing the Rinnegan or Sharingan. It's been more so closely related to the Byakugan, especially when he used it against that creature, Nue. When class rep was on the fritz and everything like that, he was able to see the chakra network of Nue.
Okay, so it does extend beyond here. That might have foreshadowed this then, because that extends beyond humans and shows that he can understand the network, the chakra network, and things beyond humans.
Mm-hmm.
So something that's even humanoid, he should be able to work with that. But I just don't see how much more that would help him. That's kind of whack. It doesn't have any other like.
It does look like it has others. The Jogan is also associated, I'm guessing, with a variation of people doing their research on the backgrounds of all of this lore in Buddhist, I believe, mythology. The Jogan is also associated with a hopeful ability, which can manifest in various ways, such as seeing the future, predicting outcomes, or influencing the course of events, which sounds like is what he would need.
Yeah. That last one specifically.
Yeah.
He would need that to kind of beat this omniscience, this
omnipotence.
Yeah, that Koji has.
Mm-hmm.
He has to, because again, it's not supposed to be something that can easily be cast away, right? Because there's nothing that they can think about how they've been describing Ada's omnipotence. There's nothing that you can do to correct it. It's just always gonna be there, no matter what. The best thing you could do is try to make things better, essentially. That's a really powerful technique, a technique that literally cannot be undone.
And he can see through invisible barriers that connect between dimensions.
I just need to know, how is it gonna help him?
Imagine this nigga goes to a different dimension, meets up with Shibai. Shibai is probably remorseful, or like we said, he might be good. I don't know. It's leaning towards bad. Pretty sure, but at the same time, he could be good. I don't know. and he ends up training Boruto how to use the eye, possibly, because I don't know who else would be able to have the knowledge to be able to train him. Even Momoshiki didn't have this eye.
No.
So
it's how it's just like how does this how does it help him? Maybe there's more powers that come from it too.
probably. We probably just seen the beginning. I mean, it was an eye that was only unlocked by Otsutskis who ate multiple cultivated god trees, fruits.
I think that it can help him with defense.
Yeah.
Like if it's base level, what we know, like the idea of the chakra ability to kind of sense chakra, it probably can help him defensively. And
I believe it has some effect in him controlling karma as well, because we seen in that foreshadowing in the first episode and the first manga chapter of Boruto, where he activated the karma marking and then he activated his Jogan at the same time.
Yeah,
maybe those two, and with the karma,
Boruto gets a little bit. Yeah,
Boruto gets a massive boost with karma, and supposedly with Jogan as well.
Right. So that might be his caveat, is he has to activate the Jogan while he beat Momoshiki back and his power back on a level that we would expect it to kind of be on. Hold on, did my microphone?
Yeah, it just switched out again.
Yeah, I just got the notification. Let me see. Okay, it's connected. Let me connect it over here. But that's what I think will end up being, like, that's the key, is that portion right there. I don't know why.
I'm curious. They gotta get to it though. They're in the mode right now. It's actually on Manga Plus right now. It's #1, which has astonished me with how One Piece has been going. Chainsaw Man. Yeah. You got the other ones. You got the Dan. You got the Dan, which is 4 Black Clovers. Kaiju #8. Kagurabachis. It is #1, which is crazy to me on Manga Plus. It might be different on other platforms, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why this microphone won't connect back, but whatever. Yeah, I 100% do agree though that he. I don't know. It's very confusing. There it is. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now it should be back to the microphone. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, but we're going to have to get, if there isn't something that kind of balances out for Boruto, then the only other thing that I could think of is that it would have to be something where him and Jigen or him and Kawaki are teaming up to try to do something in regards to it, because just outside of what he's trained up at this current point, it just doesn't seem like there's anything else that he exactly has to kind of help with this fight. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's as simple as you said. Jugon plus karma equals balance that Boruto needs. And then also Kawaki's limiters. We haven't, since that's been done, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything in regards to what exactly that looks like.
Yeah.
The full power of the karma mark.
Yeah.
And he very well could have it all currently. Like, you got to think about it too. He the person with the most experience with a karma mark. And he's had to sit with it compromised.
He would be able to start doing the same shit that Momoshiki was doing. He was turning
Yeah.
Rasengans into bullets. Something that Jura ended up incorporating within his own style. Probably not from Momoshiki, but probably just from Otsutsuki's in general.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, is that Jura is so like educated on. I don't think this is an easy fight for Boruto.
Not at all.
Because not only did the best move that Boruto had, he can't do anything. He just neutralized it. So that serves zero purpose. But also on top of that, they be reading books. They just went and got a library in the cave. And knowledgeable. He even knew the Flying Rajan. He knew what it was. He was like, "Oh, great." What did he say? Let me go back to it real quick. That's the last thing I got. But he even said, where was it? Right about here. The Flying Rajan.
A nifty translocation.
Impressive translocation. Like, he's smart.
He analyzing the hell out of him, bruh, and reading them for filth at every opportunity he get.
Did the same thing with the Rasengan Yorihime. He did the same thing. He just analyzed it. Oh,
he got hit with the Uzi. He got hit with the Uzi and stood up like nothing happened.
Nothing happened. He said, "Oh, this power." Okay.
It make my heart flutter. Knowing that we about to get in the battle.
Yeah, that's it. He just was like, little chest burn. Okay.
who the one dude?
Let me get some chakra gator or some chakra ginger ale.
Who the one freak dude from Hunter x Hunter? Hisoka?
Hisoka, yeah.
Just at the sight of a battle, this man loins is getting crazy. You like, hey,
yeah, he's
ready to go.
Chakra pudding cup.
I want to go.
He bug and he's different. He's different. I don't know. I think that Kawaki is gonna be needed. If not Kawaki, here's another thought. Sarada wakes up. Maybe that scene in this chapter where he was studying, looking at her as intensely as he was them foreshadowing she might be down right now, but he won't be ready when she get back up. Because what happens if maybe they could do a combined move, combining Yuzahiko, Boruto's Yuzahiko, or even some type of technique, maybe even incorporating the the Jogan. Maybe there's a technique that Sarada can bring out from that, or maybe he can activate that eye while Sarada is kind of taking a lead, and he can guide her into an even stronger technique that incorporates his own chakra in it. I don't know, but we can't necessarily count her out. She might be knocked out now, but if she finds out that Boruto is putting his life on the line, you think she gonna just run away?
No. But I also think
could it be fake Team 3? Could it be fake Team 3?
If she exhausted all her chakra, it's gonna be a minute before they get
It's gonna be a minute. That recovery, it puts you down for a second. But there's also, we gotta remember, hers is very different from every other
that is true
Mangekyo Sharingan that we have seen. Even the way in which she unlocked it. I mean, no, technically you could say that was the same. It was a very traumatic event for her. But still, it's one of those things where even if she doesn't have full strength and she wakes back up, you know that she's going there, even if it's at the tail end of the fight. So could it be fake? I call it fake Team 3 because it's like two Team 3s, right? You got Mitsuki, Boruto, and Sarada. But then you also got Boruto, Kawaki, and Sarada. It's like the other Team 3. So could it be bootleg Team 3 or secondary Team 3, second gen Team 3 that ends up being what ultimately takes Jura down? Because I do feel like the three of them, that would be too much.
Probably. I still think Jura's going to fucking power up. And then I think, because I just had a thought, and I feel like we could leave off on this.
Yeah, I know. It's getting long.
We had an hour. That's not too bad. I think he's going to power up, and then I don't know if it's going to be Code. I don't know if it's going to be Kawaki. It's going to be one of them niggas, because they're not going to have nobody to put that thorn bulb in when that joint manifests. So what happens if one of these niggas ate it? Is it kind of like a chakra fruit?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
And
That would make the introduction of cold coming back into play. Kawaki not gonna eat it. Boruto not gonna eat it.
I think Kawaki would be willing to eat it if he knew that it gave him a much needed advantage. We've seen Kawaki make decisions in order to take the shortcut instead of training like Boruto did.
That's true. But he also hate the Atsuki.
He do.
So it's like,
and
this is kind of come into play there.
And if Boruto unlocks the Jogan and ends up becoming even stronger than Kawaki, though, because Boruto trained for all of his shit.
For sure. That would do it.
Because base level, how we just had it, base level Boruto and base level Kawaki. Base level Boruto was cooking that nigga.
Yeah.
Asleep.
Yeah.
And base level Kawaki was getting cooked by everybody, basically.
But it's just with those blockers, how much, like, what was the level of the blockers that were put in place for Kawaki? Because he still probably did things that were meant to make him stronger during his time skip. But it wasn't. I think, wasn't he fighting with Damon at one point?
I don't think so, no.
No? I thought he was training with Damon for a little bit, but okay, I must have been wrong about that. But he could have, there could have been off-screen things that he did to get stronger, but he couldn't. It couldn't really surface because his powers is being locked away. So it just couldn't surface. It's kind of like when, like, what if it's one of those things where it's like when, not Mike Guy, but, what was his name? Rock Lee. When Rock Lee was wearing the weights in Boruto, and it was like, or in Naruto, and he was in a tournament, and it was like, oh, okay, like, he's good, but he's not good enough. And then he took the weights off, and it was like,
this nigga's an animal.
Yeah. What if that is what the blockers have been like for Kawaki? And then once he metaphorically takes the weights off here, he's that boy. He's that boy.
I hope so. What if some other shit is going on too while this fight is going on? What if he sent Bug to go and face up? Because we still got to see Damon. We still have to see Himawari.
Yep.
We still have to see Bug try to get his revenge on Ada. We still have to see Hidari try to come after Sarada. Obviously, that's probably not going to be the case because Sarada's right here. Around a lot of comrades, it's just going to be a hassle for Hidari. But maybe not at the same time. It is Trashimaru that's holding the line.
That's true. That's true. It's really Mitsuki who holding the line, because what's his name? I can't even remember his name right now.
Yodo?
Konohamaru. He ain't worth his shoes. He just ain't it. They did him dirty. I thought he should have been way stronger. He should be like the Kakashi of this Boruto generation. Like, yeah, you know, the kids might outpower you at times, but you still that boy. Like, when people need you to hold it down, yeah, you gonna hold your ground. And he is just not that. But that is true. That is true. There could be things that are also happening. And in the other, it's a good that you said that, because I also wonder if this fight could end in a stalemate or something that causes Jura to go away. Because there's no way that you're gonna keep his henchmen in play after he's defeated. Like, what will make the most sense is that we get a little arc with them and their respective beefs, and then we come back to Jura, which maybe at that point Jura is even more powerful. A good thing to ponder here though is, what exactly would cause Jura to power up? Is it as simple as what you said before? Emotions. What could cause him to power up? I don't know.
It would have to be it. I feel like if he taps into his rage, like, he's been cool and level-headed. When niggas started to feel like Madara was okay, this nigga is crazy, is when you started to see the emotion too. And he really started to tap into, I believe emotion is a key contributor within being able to use your chakra, if I'm not mistaken. I think
like
it's
tapping the heights of your chakra.
Yeah, so
bro.
I don't know. This is the mark of a great manga series, though. A mark of a great one, because we don't know how this shit is gonna go. They already showed us basically how a lot of this shit is gonna end, but still we have so many questions of how do we get there.
Yeah.
But that's it. Squad Nero back in it again. Half of us. We got Sage back in the building, and we got Croco's Corner as well. Back in this thing, giving y'all that review for that Boruto chapter 22. Please let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking, how this story is going to unfold later on down the line, down in the comment section. Also, please like, subscribe, and hit that noti bell so that you're keeping up with all the content that we have in store. We got DreamCon coming up. We got other Boruto chapters coming up. We got Fantastic Four, Superman. All your nonstop shop for all of your nerd needs. All right? Y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.
Deuces.